Hello friends, good evening. Welcome to Sam Biology class. Friends, today we shall discuss about adaptive immunity. Historically, immunity meant protection from diseases, more specifically infectious diseases. Adaptive immunity is mediated by cells called lymphocytes and their products. Lymphocytes express highly diverse receptors that are capable of recognizing a vast number of antigens. There are two major populations of lymphocytes. They are B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. Adaptive immunity is also called specific immunity because the immune responses are specific for distinct antigen. It is also called as acquired immunity because the immunity is acquired after birth as a result of natural infection or vaccination or through some other method. There are two types of adaptive immunity. One is humoral immunity and the other is cell-mediated immunity. Humoral immunity is mediated by antibodies that are produced by activated B lymphocytes, whereas in cell-mediated immunity, T lymphocytes are involved. Humoral immunity fights against pathogens and their toxins located outside cells, for example in the lumens of gastrointestinal and respiratory tract and also in the blood. Whereas cell-mediated immunity eliminates pathogens that are ingested but survive within phagocytes and other microbes, notably viruses, which infect and replicate within various host cells. The cardinal features of adaptive immunity are specificity and diversity, immunologic memory and non-reactivity to self. First one is specificity and diversity. Adaptive immune responses are specific for distinct antigens and often to different portions of complex proteins, polysaccharides or other macromolecules. Second one is memory. Exposure of the immune system to a foreign antigen enhances its ability to respond again to that antigen. The immune response which develops as a result of first exposure to a foreign antigen is called primary immune response, whereas the response that develops due to second and subsequent exposure is called secondary immune response, which is usually more vigorous. This is due to immunologic memory, which occurs because each exposure to a foreign antigen generates long-lived memory cells. Third one is non-reactivity to self. One of the most remarkable properties of every normal individual's immune system is to recognize, respond and eliminate many foreign antigens while not reacting harmfully to self-antigen. This is also called self-tolerance. Another important property of adaptive immunity is it is systemic because lymphocytes and other immune cells circulate among tissues. Protective immunity against a microbe may be provided either by the host response to that microbe or by the transfer of antibodies which defend against the microbe. The form of immunity which is induced by exposure to a foreign antigen is called active immunity because the immunized individual play an active role in responding to the antigen. Individuals and lymphocytes who have not encountered the microbe are said to be naive, means they are immunologically inexperienced, whereas individuals who have responded to the microbe and are protected from subsequent exposures are said to be immune. Active immunity can be developed naturally as a result of infection or artificially through vaccination. In some cases, the immunity that develops is short-lived, for example, in influenza and common cold, whereas in other cases it is long-lasting, for example, in case of mumps, measles and smallpox. In addition, immunity can also be conferred on an individual passively by the transfer of antibodies and sensitized lymphocytes from an immunized individual to another who has not exposed or responded to the microbe. This form of immunity is called passive immunity. The immune response which developed in passive immunity is immediate and short-lived. The response is short-lived because the immune system of the recipient is not activated. Passive immunity can also be developed naturally, for example, through the transfer of antibodies, which is anti-immunoglobulin G from mother to fetus and from mother to younger one, which occur mainly through colostrum. Passive immunity can also be developed artificially by different methods, for example, through the transfer of hyperimmune serum, convalescent serum, pooled sera from different healthy individuals, combined immunization and adaptive immunity. Passive immunization is therapeutically used in the treatment of diphtheria, tetanus, gas gangrene, snakebite and immunodeficiency diseases. So friends, this is all about adaptive immunity. For more updates, please subscribe my YouTube channel, Sam Biology Class.